Boo.
Yeah, it's very disinfected protein.
Who's talking about what?
Playing, what, Resident Evil 4 in the background there?
Battlefield 4.
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
Hello.
I found him.
Come on in, have a refreshing sweet tea from Fazoli, sit down and relax. Welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. It is a conversation between friends and a look at what it means to be a hardcore gamer discussing the video gaming industry and all things nerdcore. I am your host, Balth, and with me this week is Neo Sapien / Matt.
He's broken today.
And then we have Angel's Cradle / Nick.
Hello.
And Dude Monkey / Turo.
Hello. I found the bug in my room. I found it. So we're good.
Last but not least, Burgundy / Dave.
Wait, is he being like tracked? Is that kind of bug? Is the NSA on him? Or?
Yes.
The kind
Or is
you have
he
to
about
rip
to
out of
be-
your gut.
They have just decided to track all Eddie Munster impersonators.
Yeah. I aided him.
That's not right.
We are meeting across Google Hangouts. This is a fan-supported and listener-supported podcast by fans just like you.
Yes, you're
We
welcome.
give it to you free of charge almost every Thursday on iTunes.com, Gamersledge.com. Rate us, subscribe to us, watch us on YouTube and Twitch.tv. Write in to balth@Gamersledge.com and let us know what you like, questions you have, or topics you'd like us to discuss.
And
Let's
we're worth
start.
every penny of it.
That's right.
Remember that, folks.
Let's start with what we always start with, and that is introductions and what you're playing. Start with Angel's Cradle. We haven't seen you for a while, Nick.
Yes, it's true. Oh, geez, what have I been playing? Always playing my phone game, which is DOT or Defender of Texel. Yeah, really cool event going on right now. They're actually combining two games into one, so you get to play the Defender of Texel creatures fighting the Blood Brother creatures. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's just a little side game I play. So, other than that, lots of Hearthstone. Lot of Hearthstone.
Whoa,
Armpit.
Family podcast. Family podcast.
I learned that last week.
Yeah, so pretty much I've purchased some packs. I've gotten 3 additional legendaries in the past 2 weeks. Lots of epics.
So for the people that might be interested in playing Hearthstone on their Mac or PC, can you explain a little bit about how the first expansion is going to work?
Sure. They finally are coming out with an expansion. There's a rumor saying it's coming out on July 15th. But I wouldn't hold any numbers to that. Pretty much how the expansion is going to work? Is that what you wanted to know?
Yeah, how the pricing is going to work. And
Okay. What's out currently?
Yeah.
So, pretty much what will happen is, when the game releases, everybody will have a choice to go through each wing. There are 5 wings in total, and what you can do is you have challenges, and you get to play the card game against bosses, which have specific cards they play at a specific time. So you can do it one of a few ways. You can pay $7 a wing, or 700 gold, or you can pay a bundle price, which is cheaper. If you actually play the new upgrade within the month that it comes out, you get the first wing for free, and then you only have to pay $20 for the next 4 instead of $25. So it's relatively cheap when it comes to game expansions in general. It's only $20. You get 5 wings, you get legendary cards, which are the rarest cards you can get. You get brand new cards when you play it. It's pretty good price. I was hoping it'd be this cheap. But it looks fun. I'm definitely going to save up for it. And don't forget to add me. I'm Angel's Cradle on everything. So if you want to play some Hearthstone, feel free to add me. I come up as Angel's Cradle, and I will be more than happy to play you guys in some cards.
perfect. And have you been playing anything else, Nick?
Not really a whole lot. Watching a bunch of TV. Catching up on South Park again. South Park Stick of Truth, I am getting super close to platinuming. I want to say that's it. Oh, I played Killzone Shadowfall on the PlayStation 4.
And how did you like that?
It was really weird because we're starting to get to the point in gaming where for first-person shooters, instead of having like you know where the enemy's going to be because everything's in front of you, you walk into an area and then the enemies surround you. So it's not just how do I cover my front or my sides. It's literally how do I cover all sides of me at one time. And you can't really hide in one spot anymore. There are people showing up everywhere, and it's just I'm on medium difficulty and I'm dying, which is new for me because I used to play Call of Duty on veteran.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Everything got really annoying as soon as they gave you the ability to look up.
Those were the days.
1993.
Yeah, I miss my Shadow Gate where I couldn't look up, could only look straight ahead.
look forward, left, and maybe right. But yeah.
Remember you can play with arrow keys?
South, east, or west.
Why can't we just play with arrow keys anymore?
Oh man, ASWE.
Joystick. Yeah. I think it's a really well overall game. The graphics are obviously stupendous. I played it on I think it was like a 50-something inch plasma. That was nice. No, yeah, that's it then. Bought Lego Movie. Awesome movie. Haven't seen it. You have to.
Anything else, or is that it?
No, that should be it.
All right, Neo, how about you?
Things and stuff, mostly relating to Mr. Nathan Drake. I don't remember when exactly I beat the first Uncharted, but I beat the first Uncharted. I beat Uncharted 2. Currently in the throes of Uncharted 3. Have to say, I don't know why I put it off so long, but Uncharted 2 is like
Awesome.
it's the Raiders of the Lost Ark, of gaming. The script. I lost track of how many times I was thinking or said something out loud, and then someone in the game said like the exact same thing.
I was just about to bring that up. In Uncharted 2, they had an amazing ability to do that.
It's like, how much longer is this train, Drake? How long is this train?
That's exactly the one I was going to bring up, too.
There's a couple of times where it's that, God, this guy's part monkey, and there's one where he says something to Chloe like, aren't you proud of me? And she's like, yes, I'll throw you a banana. It had this uncanny ability to have vocalized what the gamer is thinking. And like I said, I'm not like Dave there saying I'm not the only person that had it, so it wasn't just something weird with me. The scripting and the timing in that game were just, and the pacing was all good. 3, I think would have been better if I would have had a gap between 2 and 3, but 3's just got some weird things going on. The camera zoomed in way too close. The graphics are kind of janky. And I don't know if that's because it was designed to do both 2D and 3D, so I don't know if that's some side effect of doing the 3D or what it is, but the gunplay isn't as tight either. And okay, for me this is a bad thing. I'm playing on the same difficulty level that I played the other ones, but it's taking like twice as many rounds to take a guy down, which I need to hit the thing as few times as humanly possible because I don't shoot straight in games. So that did that. Let's see, I've downloaded the update for Resogun. I've downloaded Episode 5 or Wolf Among Us, but I haven't played them yet. Still haven't played Episode 4 of Wolf Among Us yet. Did a little bit more into Puppeteer. And let's see, the Uncharted 2 is just really, really amazing game. I mean, even though it was last generation, that's one that now, if that came out, even if it was just 2, if that came out with a PS4 version, I'd probably go buy it.
Well, I think you're in luck because if I remember, it's not in our news section, but one of the Sony execs, I want to say it was Shuhei Yoshida, actually said today that Uncharted seemed like a no-brainer for a PS4 collection.
Yeah, especially once 4 is ready to come out, and 4 looks right. 4 looks, I mean, the tone and everything they've set with 4 looks perfect. So if they can nail the gameplay and the writing on that one, which for Naughty Dog is a little concerning now since they've been bleeding people left and right, but we'll see. let's see. My wife and I marathoned the latest. Thank you. I can talk. The latest season of Supernatural. Probably the most awesome ending since season 3. Probably.
Is that uploaded anywhere?
Sorry, what?
Is that on like Netflix or Hulu or something, or what?
No, I had just DVR'd it. So the season ended, I don't know, a month ago or so. But we had it all sitting on the DVR, so we just sat there and marathon through it on the DVR.
The season before this is where.
Bop, 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 bop.
I know.
Metatron.
Metatron.
Ooh, Dogma.
What about Oh, I can't say it. Oh, there's so much
no,
spoilers.
you can't.
Leviathan.
I'm gonna watch it, and I don't want to. I don't know.
That's why I'm using terms that mean nothing to you at this point. Leviathan was the end of 2 seasons ago.
Yes.
Metatron was the end of the previous season, and
Okay, that is what I thought.
this one takes place after the deal
Terrain.
with Metatron. So
That was the one
Terrain.
where the Insecticon showed up, right?
yes,
Right.
Yeah, he started just destroying everything. It was funny.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, there's really weird voices.
So let's see, and then been watching MasterChef, which I don't know why I watch that show, but
Yeah,
I do.
that's taking it right. I was actually going to talk about that. I'm watching that. Man, I love those shows.
Yeah,
What's her face has got to go. I hate how they hold on. The problem is she's just good enough to just keep on winning stuff and getting immunity, and drives me nuts because I want her to die.
I'm only to episode like. Which one was the one with the military? I think it's episode 3.
That's 2 or 3, yeah. So,
you
already know. You have to know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know I think you're talking about the stripper, right?
Yeah, she has to just trip over her own damn heels and die. I cannot stand her.
She looks like a modern version of the Wicked Witch of the West. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, put her in green makeup.
You will not be able to look at her without seeing it now.
No, and anyway, and then sat down with my daughter and watched the series premiere of the new Sailor Moon Crystal, which I have watched the entirety of the original Sailor Moon series. Don't remember a lot about it, to be honest, but I have watched it. And this was very similar.
Is Tuxedo Mask in it?
Tuxedo Mask is in it. He's an integral part of the story. Obviously, it's high def, so the animation is a lot higher resolution. The colors are a lot brighter.
Do they have Sailor Uranus in it?
Not yet. I don't know if they'll get that far or not. There's only one Sailor. It's episode 1. You only have one Sailor Scout so far. But it's very, very similar to the beginning of the original series, which, as I understand it, is also very similar to the beginning of the manga. This one's supposed to follow the manga more closely than the original series, but having never read the manga, I don't know what that means. So, but so far, it's subtitled. So for my daughter, that was a huge thing, because before we've tried to watch subtitled stuff and it hasn't gone so well. But she's gotten to an age now where she can watch and read at the same time. So. That was good. And I think I'm done talking now.
All right, well then, man with the happy fun ball, Dave, what have you been playing?
On Happy Fun Ball. We've actually played games this week. I'm not really sure how, but it's happened. I tried that, what was that little bow and arrow Smash Brothers kind of game?
Tower Ascension or Ascension?
Yeah,
Tower Ascension.
I played around with that. It seems cool, but it seems like it's more multiplayer focused. Am I right?
It is. Local multiplayer only, too.
Yeah, so I deleted that. I mean,
well, the versus is online, isn't it?
No, it's all local multiplayer only.
Okay.
Yeah, I just know that's a waste for me right now. I played some of the Strider.
That was kind of fun.
It was a free download.
Yep. How'd you like that?
I like that. That's fun. You know, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it's just like it's kind of feels like it feels very much like what was that game on the Xbox? One of the reasons I got the Xbox.
Shadow Complex?
Yeah, Shadow Complex. Thank you. It had a very Shadow Complex feel to it. So I like that. Then there was what else did I play? Oh, Doki Doki Universe was a free download, and I checked that one out, and I'm fascinated by that game because it basically does a psych profile on you, and a very accurate one at that.
It does, yes.
And I'm sitting there like playing through it, and it said I was an adrenaline junkie. And I'm like, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I was like, that's crazy. But like the decisions I was making were like, you have the thing. And then I'm like driving home the other night, and I'm in like this thunderstorm where it's like raining and there's like huge wind and everything. And I'm gunning it down the highway, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I am a little bit. And then I realized that this is like why I don't get like a car with a real fast engine in it. Because I'm trying to artificially keep myself honest, because I know if I have it, I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, and then I was down at Disney, and I love all the thrill rides and everything. And I'm just like, damn, it actually is right, and it knows me better than I know myself. But it's really neat it's a cute little game. I mean, I don't even know if I can call it a game, but it's extremely Japanese, very goofy, quirky. So I really dig that one. I'm looking to play a little more of that just to keep going, see what they say. Shovel Knight. I downloaded that on the 3DS, and that is great fun. That is anybody who has a 3DS really needs to get that game.
Well, we'll talk about that in news.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. They did a really good job on that. I really wish that studio a lot of success because they really know what they're doing with that one. Was there anything else? I just got this, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. It's Jodorowsky's Dune. Apparently, before we got the David Lynch version of Dune, in 1975, there was supposed to be this epic monstrosity of Dune being put on screen. It was like really ambitious and would have been like one of the most ambitious movies ever made. And there's this whole big story behind it. I never really heard about it, but somebody put up together a documentary about this stuff. I mean, and it had like a lot of huge names attached to it. This thing, like I'm not, I find myself being angry that this movie actually wasn't made because it sounds like it would have been awesome. This apparently won a lot of awards and stuff at for documentaries and everything. It was very interesting. People loved it, so I can't wait to watch that. And I finished a book. This Is Where I Leave You. It's going to become a movie. Jason Bateman has the lead. It also stars like Timothy Olyphant, Tina Fey. It has like a great cast in it. It's a very funny book, especially if anybody's gone through like. It starts off with like some guy going back to his family because his father died while he's going through a divorce. So this kind of spoke to me a little bit, but the writing is really sharp, really witty, really funny, really dark, but it really captures a lot of stuff well. It's a really good book. I'd check it out. Hopefully the movie doesn't suck. So that's why I read it before the movie because it's really good. And I think we're good.
I just have one question. So most of the games you mentioned were the new under the new model of the Instant Game Collection, where all 6 games drop on the first Tuesday of the month. What did you?
Oh, is that why there were so many?
Yeah. What did you think of that model? Or you obviously didn't recognize it, so.
I didn't even realize that was happening. I was like, man, it seems like I missed a lot. I didn't realize what was going on. So there's nothing now for the rest of the month. It's just.
It's the same games.
Yep, same games.
Okay, so it's a once a month rotation, but everything drops.
Everything drops on the on the first Tuesday of the month, and then the first Tuesday of the following month, everything that was there goes away, and you get 6 new ones.
Oh, okay, I'm fine with that.
I thought it was a pretty good idea until I got to this Tuesday, and I'm like, I have no reason to log into the store at all. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's just for the free stuff. I mean the other stuff will. There's still going to be new stuff coming out.
Yeah. So but I'm not really buying things right now, so.
That's true. Well, maybe add-ons or something like that.
Yeah. It's just to me the free games always motivated me to get into the store, so I would see the other stuff, and so now that I'm not motivated to go into the store because I've already got all the free stuff, I'm just like.
Well, so Turo, what have you been playing this week?
Let's see. I have been playing a lot of Vita. I've been playing Gravity Rush. That's so cool.
You are catching up on your whole backlog of Vita games.
This is awesome. I just got it in my hand so I can actually get onto PlayStation Plus and start getting all the free goodies.
You do have Luminance, right?
I'm getting that soon.
Okay.
I remember falling in love with that.
I have my cartridge copy, and I downloaded a copy of it, so I probably could send that to you.
Oh, okay. That works. It's not like you have my address or anything.
I had to find it because I was pretty obliterated when I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I think Amazon saves that in your preferences, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah, it's probably in there.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, I've been playing a lot of the Vita, which is awesome because it's just I can take it anywhere. And the battery life, everyone says battery life. Battery life, poop. I've actually been getting some good hours out of this thing. Awesome hours. As far as consoles,
what do you think of the OLED screen?
it's pretty. It's pretty. But as soon as you play a PSP game, because I had a couple of PSP games that were digital download only or whatever back in the day, it looks kind of. But I don't know. I'm gonna still be able to play. It was Patapon 2 was one of them, and it just looked kind of funny.
Patapon.
Patapon. Boom.
Patapon.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's so good. Then not so much as far as console playing.
I see Watch Dogs going on in the background.
Yeah, Watch Dogs is happening in the background. That is Duncan playing.
Is it the donut?
Say what? Yeah. Let's see. I started playing. Guacamelee showed up on Xbox One out of nowhere. It was not there, and then all of a sudden it was one of the games for gold. It was free, and it's the super awesome turbo version of Guacamelee. And I go, or Guacamelee, excuse me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the game you guys have been talking about. I get to finally play it. And so I played it for a little bit. Awesome. I played Strider for a little bit. Awesome. I really like that one. It's just so much fun, just jumping and doing, and it's just simple but yet awesome. It's simple, but it's awesome.
That's the new genre, jumping and doing.
Jumping and doing. And then I've been following into this rogue type of games, and I don't remember it being a genre of games. I just remember it being the really, really hard games that are awesome. But apparently they have a name for it. It's called Rogue and Whoa. And I just called it regular video games back then. And so there's a couple of them that I've been playing. What is it? Something is Alone? Ryan is Alone? No. Shapes, and it's a piece on.
He's just calling out like verbs or nouns.
No,
Thomas was alone.
Plastic.
That's
Thomas. Oh, thank you.
That's not a roguelike.
They said it was. And
No,
I didn't.
that's not
Yeah,
a-
it's not hard, and I don't die over and over again. But they said that was one of them.
Nah, that's not a roguelike. That's a puzzle game.
Okay,
Roguelikes, you basically
Roguelike.
die to level up. Is basically how roguelike.
Alright. Like In Plus, I would say that one. And man, I loved In Plus. But that's about it.
Roguelike.
That's what they said it was too. My gosh.
I don't know who they are, but I think
Oh.
They are
I
roguelike.
was looking at-
11-year-olds again.
I was looking at roguelike games, and then it showed me this list, and I go, oh, I didn't know that was a roguelike. What is this? I thought it was just a game you kept dying over and over again. In Plus was a game you died over and over again.
This
Okay.
is the same reason why shooters became shmups.
yeah.
Like, I'm still mad over that, and that was like 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I refuse to use that term. That is.
Only schmucks play shmups. That's all I'm gonna say.
What
That's
exactly is a shmup?
Shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'em up, still like Galaga.
Yeah, it's what we used to call shooters.
Yeah, shooters. That's the short answer. Shooters.
And they're
Oh,
like,
I'm
well,
sorry
we call
about it.
first-person shooters. I'm like, first-person shooters.
Yeah, or FPS. Thank you very much.
FPSs,
That
yes.
never changed.
shoot 'em ups and first-person shooters are totally
And they're
different genres.
Well, what do you
And
call
then there's point and click games that occasionally include shooting, like BioShock Infinite.
Okay, we're digressing.
Oh gosh,
Well,
yeah, we're going
No.
way all
Not
over
gonna
the
be
place.
started on Bioshock Infinite.
Tara, what else did you play? Anything?
That's it. Just watching some TV, catching up on Orange is the New Black, and kind of excited for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes tomorrow night. Yep.
So I have been playing a few games this week. Let's see. I started out by beating and platinuming The Wolf Among Us. So if you've not played that game and you own a PS4, now Turo, have you played Wolf Among Us?
I played the first episode on Xbox, and I liked it, but I haven't gone from there. But since all 5 episodes are available, I can just.
Well, you could on PS3 or 360, or you can wait until I believe next month when they come out on a disc for Xbox One and PS4 for $30.
Wow. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Both Walking Dead Season 1, Season 2, and then Wolf Among Us, and they're $30 a piece.
Oh my gosh! On the one?
Yeah, on
In
Xbox
PS4?
One. Yeah, they're $30 a piece. So
Yeah,
it's
I
cheaper to
gotcha.
buy them on last gen. But if you're waiting to play them on next gen, then you have the ability to do so. I don't care how you do it, just play it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Been playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, and then Yadarg actually asked me to pick up a game so we can play it together, and that is Sniper Elite 3. We have played through and beaten it in 2 days. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to talk about my impressions of the game quite yet because that gets in the listener mail. When we do listener mail a little bit later, we'll do that. But it is entertaining. I'm not sure that it's worth necessarily the cost, but we'll get to that. And the other thing that I've been doing is unpacking stuff and repacking stuff in a much more efficient manager. And I happen to find something, Dave, because Dave has been very brutal to me for the last about a month now. He keeps sending me all these Masterpiece Transformer links through Facebook and pictures because I am a diehard.
No, that wasn't even me. That was.
No, it was totally you that posted on Facebook the first time. And then since then, you've jumped in on everybody else's, making sure to link me because you're evil. But nonetheless,
It's my fault.
for those of you that may not know, I used to own a store, and I have bought and sold every Gen 1 Transformer about 3 times, including the most expensive ones like Metroplex and Fortress Maximus. But I happened to be cleaning out some of my tubs, and I found a Soul tub with only one thing in it that I completely forgot I had. I don't know if I can even fit it on the screen here. It is a Masterpiece 25th Anniversary Skywarp figure, still mint in box. So that's pretty flippin' sweet.
It's not Starscream.
It's not Starscream. Exactly what Matt said you were going to say.
This is when he opens it and just plays it. Ah!
That is exactly what Matt said you were going to say. So he did predict the future. He wins the internet.
If there's anything I am, it's predictable, apparently.
Yeah. So that's been cool.
That is really cool, though.
That. Yeah, I was pretty happy to find that because it's worth a pretty penny in and of itself.
Yeah, what's that one going for now? Because I know the Skywarp wasn't exactly a lot of them.
It's about $145 from what I've been seeing on Amazon.
Really?
And eBay. Yeah. So
I don't think it would have been more.
Yeah, well, it is not the Japanese Masterpiece. It's the Walmart exclusive 25th anniversary Masterpiece.
That's double in price, so that's not bad.
Oh, it's more than double in price because I only bought it for $25.
What?
Yeah, because I bought it off the shelf.
Oh, and was it like on closeout or something?
Yep.
Nice.
Because that's the way I roll, or transform and roll out. Whatever. So
I don't get it.
We have so much news to talk about this week. Why don't we jump directly in? First off, everyone's gone to the Rapture. We talked about that last week, and in doing so, it happened to be that there were more screenshots released this week, of course, and everybody's gone to the Rapture is running on CryEngine, which we're not sure what's still happening with the folks that make Crysis, so we'll find out. But the Chinese Room, which is the developer, actually shared some of the screens from the game with no HUD. We don't actually know if there is a HUD yet, but they shared some screens, and this is getting to that uncanny valley where things look so incredibly good that it's hard to tell it's not a game. But one of my favorite shots that they have is actually a mostly dark room where the sun is coming in through the window, and it's shining on a wheelchair, but in the shadows from the window, there's actually a person sitting in the wheelchair. So, I mean, there's a bunch of screens that they put up, and you should jump online and just search for Everybody's Gone to the Rapture screenshots. You'll find them, but they are very pretty. And I'm really starting to feel that this is going to be probably the standout exclusive for 2015 for Sony, since No Man's Sky has not been confirmed as a more than a timed exclusive. I'm thinking this is going to be the standout exclusive for 2015, personally. So, let's see. That's our first piece of news. Next piece of news we have goes to Dave, I think.
Yeah. Shovel Knight. Apparently Sony wants to get it to all of their fans since it's awesome and they should. And yeah, I don't see this as a bad idea. This is actually a game I would buy twice just to support it. It's a great, fun little game, and apparently what was the comment I saw, that they were actually looking to help out this little studio?
Yeah, that was leaked by a frequent insider, if I remember right, who tends to get that stuff pretty correct.
Yeah, he said he later added that Sony is looking to help out the small studio in development of Shovel Knight for PlayStation 4. So, man, again, Sony's really doing their best to, to latch on to these little indie games and everything and throw them out there. And I heard some. It was funny. I heard where was this conversation? There was a conversation I heard where people were talking about buying a console, and they were like, "Well, why would I buy a console?" And somebody brought up indie games for the PlayStation. Like, why? I would never. Nobody bought a PlayStation 4 in hopes to play any of these indie games. And I'm just like, it's a whole podcast full of people here, and I know that we're in the total minority, but that's at least 4. That's got to be a huge percentage.
5 if you count Nick. That's pretty cold, man.
Yeah, but is he playing the indie stuff?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, okay. 5.
I have Papers, Please
Yeah,
downloaded on my desktop. That should answer everything.
And I'm pretty sure Yakamoto is too. So
Yeah, Yakamoto is too.
Oh, that's true. So we got 6. That's we're cornering the market here. I almost sent an angry email.
I think that I personally think that the innovation in video games is happening in the indie space right now. And the funny part is I don't really think that we can honestly call them indies for much longer, because they're indies if they're not the norm. But guess what? They're becoming the norm.
They're the norm. Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
So
they're independent developers. They're not major studios. But.
Yeah, the only difference is that it's a different model of publishing, and that really doesn't, affect game design.
Well, no, but I mean, it's the same difference between a independent movie studio versus versus what we think of as a traditional. It's the same.
But not when the major movie studios are actually funding them to actually publish their games. That's my whole point.
Okay.
The independent indie is no longer a reality in a lot of cases.
Right.
In a lot of cases, they are participating in a lot of these incentive programs from the major platform holders in order to publish their games.
Unless you're Kenji Inafune and people just throw billions of dollars at you.
Unless you're Kenji Inafune, yes, that's correct. So yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation about what is an indie, and personally, I think people should just stop calling them indies, because I think indie has a stigma against it. And when you look at No Man's Sky, I'm sorry, that's not an indie in any way, shape, or form. That game is made by a small team, but that game is going to be freaking bigger than almost any other game that we've had to date.
But is that game backed up by anybody? That's the question.
It is being assisted by Sony.
Okay, then you're right. Then it should lose indie. Because
Right.
if you're assisted by someone, the whole point of indie is we're a random company and we want to get in the gaming market. So no one's backing us up. We're using our own money to produce a game. That means you're an independent developer. So if you're being backed up by Sony, I mean, if they're giving you money to put it on their platform, that's different.
See, and I even think this extends past money, though. If you're an independent developer and Sony ships you a dev kit and gives you the contacts of all their first-party studios to assist you
For
in
free?
development, yeah, for free.
Okay.
And to me, that's not an indie either,
I,
because
I,
you're no
I
longer
would
doing it on your own.
I would kind of agree with that. Like Super Meat Boy is indie
Exactly.
because that was like four guys or however many people in a room doing it by themselves, and it was an amazing game. Papers, Please is indie. There's so many of them. No, Fez.
So speaking of non-indie games, but actually first-party games, Neo, I think you've got the next story, right?
Yeah, a German retail site has been the first to have any indication or positive indication, it seems, of a PS4 version of Beyond Two Souls, which for PS4, which is actually good news for me because I never got around to getting it on the PS3. So that would be something I'd be very interested in. Alcoa and Vogan, I suppose that would be pronounced, German retailer, has it listed. I'm really hoping this price doesn't translate well, but it's listed for 89 Swiss francs, which translates to $98 and change U.S. dollars. So I'm guessing that's probably not going to be the price.
Was it
That's
on solid
that's
state
probably
RAM?
the Alps tax.
Yeah, that's
They gotta pull them up the Alps.
the elephant tax
Did
right
they bring back RAM cartridges or something?
I don't know, but that's a I saw that price. I'm like, that can't be right, or maybe I'm thinking the wrong conversion. I ran through Google. No, it's basically $100.
Beyond Two Souls for the SNK Neo Geo 3.
Exactly. So it's got it's got a PS4 looking case for it. It's got the PEGI rating on it and everything. So it looks like it's a legit deal. So that'll be pretty cool if it does come out, because I will actually probably pick that up. Obviously, since it's
Did you play the PS3 version?
I did not. I never got to it, which is really sad considering how much I like Quadratic Dream.
A Quantic Dream?
Or yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no problem.
What did I say? I said Quadratic.
Quadratic, yeah. So
I've been doing math with my kids. Sorry.
it's really amazing. That game has no middle ground. Either you absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it. So I'll be interested to hear your opinion of it.
Well, I hate everything. You know that. So.
I do know that. That's why I'm interested in your opinion.
But yeah, that's good news. That's one, because I'm not going to rebuy the Telltale games. Unless somebody comes along someday with them packed together and for El Cheapo and tells me that they're like super awesome or something. But the PS3 versions are good for me.
So Turo, I've got a 360.
Yes.
And I'm sitting on the fence about upgrading to an Xbox One.
Okay.
So if that's the case, why would I want to upgrade to the Xbox One?
Because if you're a loyal customer, they're giving you $75.
You mean Microsoft's making it rain?
Yeah, to loyal, super loyal customers, apparently. I don't know what that means. I don't know how long you have to be playing or how long you have to have Xbox Live or, I don't know. But they're giving it to the most loyal, quotes, customers. They're giving them just $75. Here you go. Doll hairs is dollars.
Is it 75 like Xbox Live Gold points dollars, or how does that
No,
work?
it's whatever your account goes to. You have it linked. $75. There you go. Thanks. Go. Here's $75 credit, so you can go get an Xbox One. It's very weird. I want $75.
Now, is that only if you buy the Kinect version?
It's not saying. It's just going to an Xbox One, so you could probably just get the $399 one. You just get a credit. There you go. Go get an Xbox One. If you want the Kinect one, cool. If you don't, right on. But here's $75 for being an also loyal Xbox 360 person, and go get in one.
Does it say anything about how you find out if you qualify as loyal before you do this?
Once you turn on your Xbox 360 and the message pops up, ta-da! If it doesn't,
then you're not loyal, and they're going to
You're not
have
loyal
a red wedding for you.
yeah, you're not loyal
I
enough.
suppose plugging mine in for the first time in 6 months is probably a bad idea to check to see if I have.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh so hard if you get it.
Yeah, because he's gonna get it. I know this is gonna happen.
I should really do this, shouldn't I?
The one person that does
Yes.
not need it is going to get it as soon as he plugs it in.
By the way, didn't I see Peggle 2 on the 360?
Wait, it's on the
Yeah,
360 now?
did.
Peggle 2 is on the 360. Just came out Tuesday.
Oh no.
There
Oh,
goes
I
the
have-
rest of Dave's life.
I have something else to show Burgundy, but I'll do it later.
Okay. That sounds.
It's not dirty.
Yeah. Okay. So
Family show.
Say that now.
speaking of cool things, I can't show it on the feed, but GameSpot sat down at E3 with the developers from No Man's Sky, and they're actually doing a series that they're calling The Next Big Game. And every day this week they are releasing new information about the studio. They tell the studio's story from when they started Hello Games as a 4-man team through the flood last year, and then how they've been developing the game to what the game is about. And tomorrow they're actually going to show the tools that they're using to make the universe. GameSpot is the only place you can get it. I highly recommend you pick it up. It's almost the quality of a documentary. Very good stuff. So it's called The Next Big Thing, and they're focusing on Hello Games and No Man's Sky. Highly recommend you check that out. Dave, I know one of the things that really excited you about the Sony E3 press conference was that they announced Grim Fandango.
Yes.
So, do we know anything about what platforms it's coming to?
Apparently, everything, but console exclusivity. Console exclusivity for Sony platforms. I wasn't even aware of this. Apparently, the Vita's getting a version. So I'm really happy about that because that's just awesome. And the PlayStation 4, it's not going to be on the PS3. It's going to be PlayStation 4 HD Remake and Vita. And then it's going to also be available for PC, Mac, and Linux. But console exclusivity for Sony stuff. So that's great. And a portable version, which is even better than I hoped for because I didn't even realize that was coming.
Well, that's I'm really looking forward to that, and I expect it to be cross-buy. I don't think they'll.
Yeah, they'll cross. There's only been like one game that wasn't cross-buy.
Yeah, there's a few, but not many. Not many.
Yeah.
So Turo, I know you like your Xbox stuff.
Yes, very much so.
And I know one of the things that they had originally said about Xbox was that you were going to be able to pay your $99 fee and then use your retail Xbox One as a developer kit.
Yes, that was a deal, and now they're saying no, but then there's been an update. They're saying Microsoft said that those are inaccurate statements. So now,
So it's unclear then at this point.
It's very unclear, but yeah, that sounded like a great idea. And for them to back off just sounds really dumb. I don't know if it's a rumor and they were just shooting it down, or if it was one of Microsoft's stupid ideas, and then go, whoa, just kidding. No, I don't know.
Well,
Now they're saying those statements are inaccurate. That's what Microsoft is saying.
So Microsoft's having problems with PR messaging going to the public again?
I know, it's a big surprise there, right? Martin Fuller, Xbox Martin Fuller. He says, no.
Martin Fuller? Is that really his name?
He's just fooling.
Yeah, Fuller. Yeah, it says there is no plans to bring that feature out of the future. Microsoft calls remarks inaccurate.
Okay.
Fooling.
So
Dang it.
A company that has not been having message problems lately is Sony.
Yeah!
We know that their decision to release the PS4 at a lower price point has kind of helped them stay ahead of Microsoft up until recently. But we also know that those units have been very expensive. And Matt, do we have news about how expensive they are?
Well, relatively speaking, so thusly, yes. The common logic or conventional logic or common knowledge or whichever phraseology you want to use of hardware is that you sell it at a loss, and generally you sell it at a loss for quite a while, hoping to recoup your money on game sales and services now like PlayStation Plus and other stuff, accessories and what have you. However, a how many months are we at? 7, 8, 9 months from launch, we are getting news that Sony sales of every PS4 unit are now actually profitable.
Yay!
I don't understand the spreadsheets on this. I would actually like to see them because I don't quite really understand how this all exactly works. But it's been reported now that each unit is selling at a profit. It's also been reported that about half of the 7 million PlayStation 4 owners have purchased Plus, which helps in the profitability, the subscription there. And about 3.5 million have also spent $50, or no, I'm misreading this. Excuse me. No, never mind. That's irrelevant. And Sony expects to meet their goal of a combined 17 million units of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4s during the current fiscal year. They did not provide any details on exactly how that breakdown would look, but that ties into another story that was also put out today about how the combination of PS3, PS4, and Vita units sold to date has exceeded 100 million units. Approximate. That's a
lot of consoles.
That's a lot. That's figuring about 8 million PS4s, about 82 to 85 million PS3s, and the remaining 10-ish million being Vitas. Which that's actually a pretty good number for the Vita because it seems to fly under the radar continually, both from Sony and just commercially. But there has been a bit of a surge in this year, both in both the primary markets of Japan and North America. Primarily in the markets of Japan and North America. I'm not trying to say they're the prime ones. I'm just saying that those are the ones where it's had a surge. And so that's what we're looking at. And so 100 million, and that was kind of a soft announcement too. It was embedded in another YouTube video for official licensed products promotion. So that was kind of buried in there. So there's not a lot of details, but that's an impressive number, and I know the PS3s have been a huge part of that. I mean, obviously they've had the longest life cycle of the three, but I mean, just everything on the PS3 right now. If you're looking to be a bargain gamer and looking to be a console gamer, I don't think there's a better deal than the PS3 right now.
So Nick, I know you like them. They're Blizzard games.
Yeah, it's really getting into them.
Yep, and they've got a lot going on right now. They've got Hearthstone, which is a big smash hit for them. They've got all the changes for Diablo for the PC that have been coming up for them. And now they've got Diablo 3 for the consoles getting ready to launch soon.
Yep.
How are they going to handle all that?
They are hiring, and they are hiring they are so badly in need for people. Hearthstone has had an ad up for a week saying, we need people, come on in. And they're actually they have critical positions. And they actually have like an exclamation point next to them saying, these are critical, we need to fill these. One of them is a software engineering position I will actually be applying for. This may be hurting me, but I'm just going to say it. Yeah, so, I mean, go apply. They're in need of people. Applying for positions in Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, if you know what that is.
That is their MOBA, correct?
Correct, yeah. I have alpha access, but it won't work on my machine for some reason. But yeah, they're hiring. And now would be a time to to put in a resume. If you ever wanted to actually develop for a gaming company, Blizzard's hiring and in need. Currently, it says their offices are in California. So, warning, anybody who's not in California. But yeah, I'm submitting an application soon, and I hope to get a call.
Awesome. Now, Turo, I know one of the other games that a lot of people have been talking about coming out of E3 that they saw on the Oculus Rift, which was apparently pretty freaking cool, was Alien Isolation.
Yes, and I cannot even imagine playing it on that headset. I that would just scare the crap out of me. But some good news on top of that, if you are a fan of the show or the series, or not series, I say the franchise, you're going to be able to see the original Nostromo cast, the crews, and you're going to be able to play as them. You're going to be able to see Ripley. They got everybody back together besides John Hurt, but we don't see him because, spoiler alert, he's the one that actually goes kind of guy. But yeah, you get to play with him. That's one of 2 DLCs they announced, and one of them is called Crew Expendable, and you're going to be able to play as the crew members of the Nostromos, or of the Stromos ship. So that's exciting because they got everybody to do the voice work. Everybody, including Ripley, including Sigourney Weaver, and that's
Everybody?
so cool. Well, just those crew members. After I can't remember his name. Let me look it up. Boop boop boop. Let's see. Going to be able to play as Parker, Dallas, and Ellen Ripley. And it happens right after the death of Brett. And if you remember, that one is with he's looking, it's with the chains and the water coming down, and he looks up and the water drips in his face, and it's not really water, and then he looks up and then he dies. You're gonna take place in the game right after that. That's when you're actually gonna be able to control them.
Is Dallas Bill Paxton?
Dallas is rap. I don't remember.
I just want to be able to run around the ship while the alien's chasing me, going, "Game over, man! Game over!"
No, that's Aliens.
It's
this
Hudson.
is Alien.
He was Hudson. The other guy was Hicks.
Hicks was the "Rawr, I'm gonna save you, Ripley." Rawr.
Hicks was.
That's Aliens. This is Alien.
I know. I was just messing.
You jerk.
No, he just wanted to drive me nuts.
Oh.
Somebody else got me today in work with like a long 10-minute troll, because I was talking about movies and stuff, and then finally I said something about John Carpenter, and he was like, "Oh, that guy that did the movies 16 Candles and everything," and that's when he pushed it too far, and I was just like, "Ah." And he just started laughing. He goes, "I had you go for 10 minutes on this stuff."
But yeah, that's exciting. I'm very excited for that.
I'm hoping they bring it to Morpheus, personally, because that would be a hell of a launch game for Sony Morpheus.
There are going to be reports of heart attacks.
That will only make it more popular. Trust me.
I will be one of them, gladly.
Yes.
Gosh dang.
So do you guys remember Epic, the folks that make the Unreal Engine, announcing a game a while back called Fortnite, which was going to be like Minecraft with children's forts?
Is it PC only, though?
No, it is coming to consoles as well.
Hooray!
So it went silent for a very, very long time. Suddenly, this last month, it was on the cover of Game Informer, and now they've released a very long video showing you building forts on the fly. I have to say, it looks at both somewhat boring and somewhat awesome at the same time, and I have no idea how to reconcile those things together.
Like Minecraft?
It is, well, yeah, very much like Minecraft, I think, except that you're building forts and then have to defend them. So I think it's interesting. I'll be interested to see, but basically Epic says that the game play has evolved over a long period of time. and putting this trailer out was to show people that it's still in development, and that you can apply for the alpha on PC. Oh, I'm sorry. It is only being developed for PC at the moment, but it is a possibility that it will be ported to other platforms.
That's the part that hurts. I was just
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool that it's on PC, and I'm glad for the PC gamers, but that's just too much. I can't be console, handheld, cell phone, old school, and PC. It's just so much.
Yeah, it is a lot to take in. Let's see. Matt!
Ah.
Yeah, and he left out tabletop and card and
Oh,
those other
yeah.
kinds of
Yeah,
games
yeah,
too.
he did. He did
But
leave
those
out
aren't
stuff,
those
yeah.
are not things that I do very often, but yeah.
Yeah, so
Gaming.
so we've seen a ton of Destiny news drop in the last few days as
And
you
now-
know.
Now, I know, before you get directly into the news, I wanted to set this up.
Oh,
So I know that you have been doing something on your PS3 right now that has been driving you insane.
making room for Uncharted 3.
Making room for Uncharted 3.
That thing is like 4 bajillion million.
I think it's 40
bits.
gigs. 40
Yeah,
gigs.
depending on everything you install, it's between 30 to 40 gigs. Yeah.
So, for those of you who haven't thought about it, a default PS4 only comes with 500 gigs of space on it. And we found out today how much Destiny, a game that Matt is most definitely going to buy,
Already bought.
right, how much it's going to take up of that PS4 hard drive space. So, Matt, why don't you tell us how much it is?
At least the download version. One would make the presumption that the disc version also installs the same amount, but found out from a listing from SEN, Sony Entertainment Network, today that the game is a whopping 40 gigabyte download.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Besides busting about 20% of the U.S. population's monthly data download cap, this is also going to be soaking up a good chunk of hard disk space. I don't remember off the top of my head how much just the OS and stuff takes up, but I know that's a few gig. And if you've downloaded the Plus games and kept them and bought a few games here and there, your 500 gig drive is probably looking awfully small at this point. I know and I think most of the cast here did swap out their drives day one.
Just try to say, did I do that?
We told you to. I don't know.
Told
if
you
did.
to, yeah. Whether you did it or not is a whole nother matter.
Yeah. I did it. I did it.
Yeah, I did not.
Now the nice thing about the PS4 is if you're a Plus member, is it auto syncs all of your saves to the cloud. So even if you uninstall something from your PS4, all of your saves are auto saved to the cloud's drive, so that you can, if you reinstall it later, you'll still have access to your saves.
That was a nice surprise.
That's a nice surprise to get, which doesn't happen on the Vita. On the Vita, you have the same capability on the Vita, but you have to do it manually because when you uninstall a game on the Vita, it also deletes your saves. So pro tip: buy Plus and save your games if you're going to delete anything off of the Vita. But yeah, 40 gigs. That's huge, enormous.
That's current gen.
Yeah, it's current gen. It's not been out of the realm of normal so far for most of the games.
Right. So we don't know. This is the 500 gigabyte drive sounded like a lot to start with, but it's really not. And I'm really wondering how much longer I'm going to be able to go without putting a 1.5 or a 2T as soon as they come out with a common form factor.
2T's already out. It's expensive.
It's out, but it's not. It's still kind of. It's like one drive, and it's
expensive.
Yeah.
So, my last piece of news this week has absolutely nothing to do with gaming, as in video gaming, but it does have to do with tabletop gaming. If you are not aware, the new version of Dungeons and Dragons is coming out soon. It's called D&D Next. And one of the interesting things that Wizards of the Coast, the publishers, are doing is that they are actually opting to give experienced players and new beginners an easy in to the next edition, in that they're giving the basic rules away for free at their official website.
Wow.
If you head over to Wizards of the Coast, then what you'll do is you can still buy the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual. Those all still come out, but the full rule set is there and available to download as a PDF for free starting today. So this is a pretty clever idea on behalf of Wizards of the Coast, because there's a lot of people that play tabletop games that are split amongst different editions of D&D as well as other RPGs. So to get them out, the fundamentals out there as a free download is a really smart marketing idea to me.
Is it a D20 system?
Actually, I don't know. I've not read it yet.
Oh.
It's on my list to do it this weekend. Check it out.
Cool.
So that wraps up news.
I got some.
Oh, somebody's got one more.
I have two more, but I'll pick only one of them. And I'll
Yeah, because we have a lot of reader mail to go through still.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, goodness.
But, okay, I have to do one really quick, and then I got the second one. So the first one is, imagine how PS4 sales might have gone if it had solid-state storage, a 4 gigs of RAM, and the camera was included versus the version that we got. Just think about that.
Okay.
That was the original plan.
Oh.
The plan got modified to include a hard drive, cut the camera, and up the RAM to 8 gig. So, just, evolution of the process. That was just another interesting little tidbit. But the real news that I have is actually also not gaming of any sort, but is actually TV related. Today it was announced by TV Guide that Robbie Amell, who is the real-life cousin of Arrow star Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen / Arrow, he hasn't yet become, anyway, is going to be included in the cast of the Flash show, which is a sort of spin-off from Arrow, and he is going to be playing the role of Ronnie Raymond. For those
also known as Firestorm. Soul.
One half of Firestorm. He will make his first appearance in episode 3, and is fiance to Dr. Caitlin Snow. Fill it in, Mark.
That would be oh my God, Fury, Frozen. What's her name?
Killer Frost.
Killer Frost. Thank you. Yes.
Frozen.
What if? Yeah, it's not
all that was going through my head. All that was going through my head was, do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. Who is one of Firestorm's most dangerous rogues. So.
Who also happens to appear to be on the team that helps the Flash come to grips with his powers. Just FYI.
Yes. She's part of the Star Labs team that is initially helping, at least, Flash. And this
Bizarro, Bizarro, I'm helping.
That Dr. Caitlin Snow is played by Danielle Panabaker, who I don't recognize the name and I haven't had a chance to look up. Amell, who again is the cousin of the Stephen Amell, has been in Tomorrow People, Revenge, and the short-lived NBC comedy 1600 Penn, of which I've watched absolutely none of those 3. So.
Okay, so when's it coming out? That's all I need to know. That's it.
Fall. I haven't seen the date for Flash yet, and this says Flash debuts this fall on CW. And why in the world? I don't know why, but I have like 3 CW channels on my DirecTV, and none of them are high def. It drives me nuts.
Oh, that sucks.
Which means I got to try and catch it on Hulu while it's still on there, because the CW shows are the ones that do that shifting 4-episode window. Ugh. Anyway.
All right, reader mail. We have a ton of reader mail
time.
Questions de reader.
Oh,
Español, right? Cuestiones de reader.
Mail.
All right. Number 1 comes from Mari. She poses the panel this question. If you could sacrifice any one franchise to get more games from another franchise, what 2 franchises would you pick?
Dark Souls.
Whoa. Not everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. First, let's start with Burgundy. Dave, go ahead.
Dark Souls, done. More Ratchet and Clank. Thank you. Out.
That's amazing. That's amazing because my answer was Ratchet and Clank to get more. That's why I want to go first. Matt,
Dave wins. I'm done. Dave wins.
While I approve of Burgundy's message, I actually would get rid of Call of Duty and one of them. Just pick one of the Call of Duty series, and get more Infamous.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
And Turo, what about you?
Oh man. Okay. I would agree to get rid of Call of Duty. I want more Dead Space. I want more of it.
Like good Dead Space 2 Dead Space, not Dead Space 3 Dead Space.
Yeah, like back to the scary. Like I have not
Dead
been.
Space 1. Dead Space 1. Dead
No,
Space.
I had a blast with both games. Dead Space 1 and 2, they were both equally fantastic to me. I had some of the greatest moments and memories and scares and everything in all of gaming history in my life from those games. I want more of that. And I'll gladly get rid of Call of Duty. My gosh.
I would. So my real answer is I would gladly get rid of all of the Call of Duties for more Persona games.
There's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, you know, so I think maybe we're missing the heart of this question. I think maybe we should be thinking of giving up a series we like for more of another series we like even more.
Oh.
What do you think of that?
No.
I'll give up Firefly for more Doctor Who. Done.
No, you got
That was easy.
Backwards. You got that completely backwards.
Yeah, dude.
I know Firefly's already done though. I would give up.
But that's the whole point. I would give up a lot of things just to get more Firefly.
I couldn't give up Doctor Who for more Firefly, but I would give up. What would I give up for more Firefly?
I would give up more heavy. I would give up the Quantic Dream games for more Rock Band.
Whoa. Okay.
Damn.
I love Rock Band. Dave? Matt?
Get back to me in a second, because I got a good one brewing.
No, are we doing the whole good for good thing? Otherwise,
Good for
good.
Good for
All
good
right,
thing.
Good for good. I got one. I would actually probably give up the Infamous series for more Little Big Planet.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be a tough one.
Well, you're not going to have to give it up because Little Big Planet 3 comes out this year.
I know. So happy.
Matt?
I have one. If you're not ready,
Go ahead.
and this will. It's true. It's very true. I would give up the Halo franchise
Wow.
for more Metroid. The good
Whoa.
guy.
Ooh.
I
Which
miss it.
Metroid?
Like either the 2D scrolling or the Prime. Both of them were awesome. The 2D just has a special place in my heart. That one was Metroid 3, Super Metroid, and to have something else like that, because Metroid Fusion was a little. But yeah, I would totally give up Halo for more of that.
So, Matt, I'm going to predict one for you.
Okay.
I can see you're having problems with this one.
Yeah.
I would predict that you would give up more Ratchet and Clank for more Valkyrie Chronicles.
Ooh. The only problem with that is I own 2 and I never got around to playing it.
But I remember how much you liked 1.
Yeah, I did. I played the crap out of that game.
So that's my prediction for you. But
Wow. If it came down to having to give up Ratchet and Clank to get another full console Valkyrie Chronicles.
Oh, I have another one on Sony exclusive.
okay, no, we gotta go on to the next question.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I might just do that.
Because I know you played the hell out of all the Ratchet and Clanks, so you
Yeah.
could probably say, okay, I'm done with this. Now let's move on to that.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know that there's going to be any more. So.
So L. O'Malley wrote in and said, did you know that Batman's 75th birthday is coming up?
Yep.
Yes.
Happy birthday! Almost.
Yes. It's going to be July 23rd. They have opened a whole exhibit in the Warner Brothers VIP studio tour, and of course the pictures that they all release are wax moldings of Batman and Robin. Hooray! The worst movie in the series. Yay.
No way.
Yeah, no, seriously, they had to have. There will be
the
a
best
free...
quotes.
Yeah, the Rift Tracks is the best Rift Tracks ever, by the way.
Ah.
If you've not seen it, speaking of, I forgot also, tomorrow is the Rift Tracks in theaters of Sharknado at 8 o'clock at a theater near you, so make sure you go check that out. That should be
Nice.
good.
I'm a little upset about that because it's already like almost a parody film as it is.
Yeah.
So how do you parody film a parody film?
Yeah,
it'll be very meta. I'm good with it.
Yeah, well, because the last one I saw was a Starship Troopers one.
Yeah.
In the
Ooh.
theater, which was amazing. Like that one was amazing.
Yeah, well, they're all really good. I've not been to a bad one, so.
It meant a lot to Mark.
You can actually get a free comic that they're going to be giving out at comic shops as well for the 75th birthday. And they interviewed Danny DeVito, to which no one cared. So yes, thanks for writing in about that. That is something that we will be celebrating in our geekdom. Logan G wrote in and asked, why isn't there a good Doctor Who video game out there? It's such a good concept for a game, but they always find a way to screw it up. And my short answer to this, and you guys can agree or disagree, is because they haven't given it to Telltale Games to make.
Oh my gosh.
I've always thought the only way it would work would be either that or an old style JRPG mechanic. But yeah, the Telltale Games would definitely rock that.
Oh, that's better than what I was thinking. I was thinking like they would reopen up like somehow Tim Schafer would reopen up like LucasArts and make that would be like his first licensed
or at least Sierra
old school adventure game.
Oh.
No, not Sierra. I'm talking old LucasArts ones. They were creme de la creme for that.
They have the tentacle.
Exactly, because they're already the masters of all the time travel stuff in there.
All right, Turo,
so much fun.
You're getting put on the spot with this next question.
Oh my goodness, what is it?
Adrian A writes in and asks, should I trade my Xbox 360 for a PS3?
No.
Should I trade in my Xbox 360 for a PS4?
If you really didn't want an Xbox One, then yeah. Well, hold on. Depending on how many Xbox Live Arcade games and how many games you actually have on the 360, and how many friends you actually have on the PlayStation Network already, if any. Because that's a lot of factors. Oh my gosh! If you have no friends on the PlayStation Network, then ugh. If you don't have PlayStation Plus, ugh. There's some great games on there, but they're both on the same scale right now. We have some great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of questions in there, but if you wanted to go next gen and you had to give up your 360 and you absolutely wanted to go to next gen, then yes, I would say yes.
Okay. Dynamic Pillow 2 wrote in from Italy, actually, and asked us that they heard us mention something on one of the podcasts and asks, what is a furry? And
oh, goodness.
Give this to Dave. This is all Dave.
No.
I have an answer.
I don't think
most definitely not. The answer is ask your parents, kid.
Oh, okay.
And Dynamic Pillow 2, you may be
just
30
Google
years
it.
old.
Just Google it.
Yeah,
just Google it.
No. Ask your parents.
Just Google
ask your
it.
Parents.
Like everything else.
Neo Sapien Train H said that he's heard us talk about your mom jokes, etc., and he said, have Neo Sapien ask you to use my phone to call your mom.
Let me guess. The rest of the joke is redial.
Yes, redial, yes. Izana F said, why can't Pan, who is 1/4 Saiyan, go Super Saiyan J when Goku and Vegeta Jr., who are 1/8 Saiyan, can? No.
It's because it's Dragon Ball GT.
No.
It's because she's a girl.
No.
Dragon
No,
Ball GT doesn't make any sense.
The correct answer is no.
Well, no to Dragon Ball GT. I agree to that.
No, just period, no, period.
No.
That's
Yeah, no to GT. You are correct.
I know on Geek, or what is, I don't even remember the name that they changed the thing to. It was Geek Chat, and now it's, I think, Geeking or so whatever. I know it was an AMA. I said that to answer anything on the show, but no. Ray asked, saw your Sniper Elite co-op play videos on YouTube. Is the game any good? So, I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, I beat it. It has some cool mechanics. It is probably the most uninspiring game plot and design ever made. I'm the only American in the entire staging area. And of course, I have to talk like this, and I have a square jaw. And no one is any better than America. So, if you watch those videos, you will hear me do that voice almost the entire time, talking to my co-op partner, who eventually adopts a Shaggy-like voice. because he's, when you play co-op, the second player looks identical to you, other than their clothing is a little bit darker in color. So I was always talking about how we were the best twin brothers in the army. And he would be like, and I started going off about how everybody has to talk like that. He's like, why don't they ever portray real people? And Yadar's like, like if there was going to be people like this in the war. So it's quite amusing. I would recommend checking them out. I do really like it. One of the downsides for co-op that that Yadar actually catched on to first is the whole game. If you ever played Mortal Kombat, they have what are called X-ray moves. And it's where you like zoom into the skeletal structure to break a bone or whatever. Sniper Elite, the series, has the same thing for shots to the head. It turns into X-rayed, whatever. When you're playing co-op, there are no X-ray shots. So that's a little sad, because it's one of the things you really look forward to. We're actually putting together a X-ray compilation of shots for the site, so that should be going up shortly. So look for that on the YouTube channel as well. Yukiku Tsutsu wrote in and asked, what are the coolest things to do in GTA Online? Did anybody else play GTA Online besides me?
Anything.
So,
as long as you have fun friends, like anything.
So I instead of talking about what I did, I'm going to talk about what I read about, which probably tickled me the most, is that there was this guy who kept spawning the helicopter over and over again. He'd spawn the helicopter, and he would fly it down next to people. And he would just sit there waiting for them to get in. And almost invariably, people would just run up and shoot him and take the helicopter. But one time, he landed it down, and the person got out and stood there for a long minute, and then very tentatively walked up to the helicopter, opened the door, and got in. And so they started flying all around the city. He took them to every site, and they would stop the helicopter, they would get out, and they would stare off into the sunset for a minute, and then get back in the helicopter and move on to the next location in the city.
Oh my god.
And so he said that this lasted for like 45 minutes, and they finally landed on the highest mountaintop in the entire region. And they got out of the helicopter.
And they killed themselves.
They went and stood side by side looking out in the sunset. And the guy turned and shot him dead, took all his money, got back in the helicopter, and left. And I think in a world of unpredictable variables, that in and of itself is its own reward. So that's what I would recommend. Anything you want in GTA Online.
That would be like the greatest day of my gaming life if that happened to me.
Well, I've had some pretty... I say Watch Dogs probably captures that actually a little bit better with some of the structure. You need to do the online play, I'm just saying.
Oh, gosh, it's so good.
It's so good. That brings us to the end of Reader Mail and another podcast. Housekeeping items. Please do visit the website, Gamersledge.com. Follow us on Twitter, it's balth99. Like us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/gamersledge. Subscribe, like, and comment to us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/balthonpsn. Watch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/balthonpsn. balth99. Any final thoughts and shout-outs going around the room? Neo Sapien.
I meant to record Extant tonight to see what that was going to be all about. That's the new Halle Berry sci-fi show on CBS. I forgot, so I'm going to have to see if that's on demand somewhere or something. So I'll have a report back on that next week.
Arturo.
I got a bunch of my stuff out of my mom's house that I forgot I had over there, and I forgot how much I realized I loved Super Smash Brothers and the Kirby series, and found this guy that I made in senior clay class. And yes, thank you very much. Yes, and it takes off so you can put an incense or anything, and the smoke comes out of his eyeballs, because why not?
Okay, I saw that in the picture you posted on Facebook, and I was going to ask you specifically where that came from.
I made it.
In the background.
I made it. That's where it came from.
now.
Yeah, look,
Didn't
2003.
Didn't
AR,
realize Kirby had a
2003.
skeleton.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. Anyway, my art teacher didn't know what it was, and she goes, and she smoked a lot of pot. Surprise, right? You get an A+, because I don't know what it is, because it looks cute, though. And so, ta-da! Anyway,
Burgundy.
yeah.
There's this really cool Lego set coming out. Lego used to do this thing called Lego Kuso, which turned into like Lego Ideas or something like that now. They've released all kinds of great stuff, like that's where the Ghostbusters and Back to the Future sets came from. So people go to the site, they vote on these user-created ideas, basically. So like the regular person creates something, and then like people vote on it. If it gets enough votes, it gets considered and then maybe released into like a real set that Lego puts out.
Nice.
The latest one, or one of the latest ones that they've announced, actually is really awesome. It's this one called Exosuit, which is just basically a fan created. This guy does like some really awesome stuff that he always posts online and everything, and it got the support, and it's not licensed or anything. It's just like a completely original thing that he did himself, and they're releasing it, and it looks really awesome, and it's really close to like his original design, everything he did, with some extra stuff, and it's a pretty neat one to come out. It's going to be limited, so there's probably only going to be like one run of it, so definitely want to get into that when you can. And it comes with like classic Space Guys, but in green, and they've never done that before, so that's kind of awesome.
So my final thought for this week is a little lengthy, but you'll get where I'm going eventually, so bear with me. For most of my friends don't know that I have a sincere collection addiction to chalices and grails. And we're not, as you can see, we're not talking like plastic chalices and grails. I bought this one in Brazil. And when I found it, it's still the centerpiece of my collection. It was extremely expensive, but it is the detail and the craftsmanship on it is second to none. And it's one of my favorite pieces that I've ever found. And Brazil has always been one of my favorite places because of that. And I have never been so disappointed that you let the Germans steamroll you 7-1 in the World Cup.
Do you know why that happened? Do you know why that happened?
Know how to play soccer?
Because they only have 2 good players.
Do you know why that happened? Because when I was in Florida, there was a ton of Brazilians down there, and when I was getting in line for Space Mountain, I had a headache, and there was like 100 Brazilian soccer fans in line there, and all of a sudden they started breaking out at the top of their lungs into their Brazilian soccer chants, and it was just echoing off the walls and caving my head in. And at that point, I said, you know something? I really hope that they run into Germany in the semifinals and get absolutely crushed. That had happened.
So you did that.
That was me.
7-1. You've been Blitzkreig'd. I'm sorry.
What was it?
They scored like a Brazilian goals.
I have Brazilian friends. Luckily, I don't think they watch the podcast, but if they did, they could be pretty pissed off at me. But I'm sorry.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
Wait, a Brazilian friends or like a Brazilian friends?
Yeah. No, I have quite a few Brazilian friends. So, yeah, I've been sitting on that all night, so I've been waiting. Patiently.
Like
So until
4
next.
goals in 6 minutes. My gosh.
Oh, until next week.
I actually checked. Hold on a second. I actually checked it where I was just like, I turned to this one guy who's like a huge soccer fan, and I was gonna like check the score and everything, just see what's going on. I checked the score because the game just started, and I was like, yo man, how much are goals worth in soccer again? And he was like, why? What's going on? And I told him. He was like, holy crap.
So until next week. Game on!
Game on! That was
Germany
anticipation.
scored a touchdown.